it feels like it was 3 years ago or something when we first saw that demo for Black Myth Wukong, and it really wowed people with the way it looked, the fidelity, the combat system, all of this stuff. Well, finally, we're only a couple months away, it seems, from the release of this game, and we're finding out a little more about the Chinese developers who apparently refuse to bend the knee to DEI consultancy companies like Sweet Baby Inc.
Let's go.
Obviously, Sweet Baby been the talk for a while because of their practices. What happened all blew up in their faces. And they were very upfront that they would do anything and everything to force their agenda into gaming. Well, then along comes this story. Rumor, Wukong devs reject $7 million extortion from DEI consultants. According to a journalist on the Chinese social media platform, Black Myth Wukong is experiencing a harassment campaign from Western critics and journalists after rejecting offers from DEI consultants. And this is the post kind of that gets translated here to English. The reason behind why the team behind Black Myth Wukong has been subjected to persistent sexist attacks and slander since the first promo video is because they've consistently refused political correctness guidance and rejected the extortionate, maybe it means exorbitant, guidance fees of millions of dollars, extortionate, that's what he's saying, guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these political correctness teams. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and North America. They interfere with works like Assassin's Creed, Dying Light 2, and God of War by pushing for political correct female protagonists. The change is a direct result of interference and guidance of such teams. Game science teams refuse to communicate with these groups and reject their interference. Most importantly, they refuse to pay the exorbitant $7 million in guidance fees. This is the reason why they're being attacked and slandered. And this really brought people back to what IGN has been saying about this game. Look at this. Indie Souls like Black Myth Wukong has seen widespread acclaim since its reveal, but the studio behind it has long been plagued with accusations of sexism that reflect wider issues in the Chinese games industry. There's now a community note there. The sexist quotes shown in the article are poorly translated. Accurate translations show the same as being vulgar, but definitely not sexist. IGN is reporting these fallacious, unverified claims as though their fact is yellow journalism. And the thing that really blew this up is your favorite guy to react to, Jeremy, and that's Asmongold. And it's really Asmongold's editor that did some of the work on this. Watch.
Context. IGN published an article trying to smear the company and the devs behind Black Myth Wukong as some sexist freaks because of some of their employees' social media posts. The article cites one of their artists who basically did the still wood meme about this monster. The problem is that this game journalist, either by sheer incompetence or malice, translated these posts in the most uncharitable way possible. And this is nothing compared to the most egregious mistranslation after one of the game company founders posted this in 2020, apologizing for the lackluster trailer of Black Myth Wukong just released. Now, how on earth do you get?
I want to expand my circle and hire more people. Get licked until I can't get an erection.
In reality, the actual translation completely changes the meaning of what he was saying.
So this is the actual translation of that statement, basically saying that it's a turn of phrase. It's an idiom that's used by Chinese people like normally. And it essentially means a colloquial expression used humorously or sarcastically to describe a situation where excessive flattery has an overwhelming and paralyzing effect on someone. But they presented this as if it's just the most sexist, despicable thing they could possibly put out there. And even yesterday, Jeremy, after getting called out for this, ratioed for this, all these things, they are still doubling down because they published an article that did give credit to how the gameplay looks, but in it, they couldn't help themselves with a fucking, essentially like an editor's note in here about even though we like the gameplay, we can't ignore these sexist things that we revealed about this company and everyone needs to know about them. And a lot of people are pointing towards what we've heard from these people before.
Kim Belair.
If you don't bend the knee, if you don't hire this company, well, you got to have a lot of pressure. Maybe it's from your media team. Maybe it's by leaking things to the press. Maybe it's by a smear campaign. This is what she said.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Starts to make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It sure does. Again, this clip something that a lot of people, us included, have pointed to when you heard that, and it's because we've been paying attention to how all of this works. It's all about bullying people and intimidating them into repeating the bullshit that you're wanting them to repeat, and we're seeing this across the board. And with IGN, basically doing all they can to discredit this game. Anytime the mainstream outlets are working hard to discredit a game, it's always going to be a red flag from the fans' perspective to go, what the hell's actually going on here? Why are they targeting this particular game? And now we're starting to get a little more insight into this, which is exactly why all of the mainstream outlets are not trustworthy. It's why Geeks and Gamers has a platform. It's why so many other people out there have got a platform. It's because of the pure lack of trust from these lying hack journalists, these activists that they continue to hire for these publications. Remember back in the day when you're reading EGM, there was never any of this bullshit. They were just reporting on, hey, this game is coming out and it looks really cool. Here's some screenshots. Here's some of the characters, all of that. It's just, holy shit, man, like exciting you for this. All of these websites and these gaming mainstream publications, all they're doing is weaponizing shit. And people are sick and tired of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah, and it seems like it may have blew up in their faces a little bit, because right now, the most wish-listed upcoming game by a long shot
Let's go.
is Black Myth Wukong.
Let's go. You're not going to change gaming culture. You're not. Gaming culture is what it is. Gamers are who they are. You're not going to change that. At the end of the day, gamers are who they are. They talk shit. They have fun. They're not easily offended by things. And when they see that you're trying to force a fake narrative over something, they're just going to go out and support that thing that you are trying to work against. Stellar Blade's a classic example of that. How'd that work out for you? Mainstream media, how'd that one work out? Not very well. You're not going to change the gaming culture. It's just not going to happen. You can try, but you're going to continue to fail the more you do it.